This is Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast. Episode -015. Feel Too Good. What's that song all about?
Feel Too Good is the seventh track, third song on side 2 of the Move's third studio album, Looking On, released on December the 11th, 1970. It was written by Roy Wood. In the September 30th, 1994 issue of Goldmine, in the article Roy Wood, the Wizard of Rock, Roy said,
That was Doris Troy and P.P. Arnold doing backing vocals. That was another instance where the other guy had gone home. In fact, myself and Jeff started that track off. We were just messing around because all the gear was still set up and Jeff played drums on that, and I played bass. We put the drums and bass on that first, just added things as we went along, and it worked really well. It's a different way of working.
In the October 14th, 1971 issue of Rolling Stone, John Mendelsohn wrote,
Looking On contains a decidedly substandard example of Wood's composing genius. The plotting Feel Too Good, one of the least distinguished songs he's ever done.
It was used in the 1997 movie Boogie Nights and the first episode of Life on Mars in 2006. It was covered by Spitballs in 1978.
I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
And I'm Eric Winsenson.
And Feel Too Good.
Do you feel too good about this song?
Jesus Christ. So this is what this song was like for me. You know how you take your morning mile walk and you're feeling pretty good and you're thinking, I'll do 2 miles today. Then you hit that mile part, so you turn around to start walking back to your car. And about a half mile in, with a half mile to go, you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done this. But I got no choice. I got to keep going. If I want to get home, I got to keep walking. And as you walk, it's like the planet keeps stretching, and your ultimate destination keeps getting further away even though you keep walking forward. It's like you're taking 1 step forward and 3 steps back, but you know you're not. You can kind of see your car over there. It's getting closer, but it really doesn't feel like it's getting any closer with every step that you take. You can see the doorway out of your hell, but it seems like the more you walk towards it, the more the doorway just stays in the same place. And that was this song. Last week, I said, I'm done. I'm sick of these long songs. Even though before then I was like, oh, God, another 7 minute song. Here we go. I started this podcast, so I have to go through with it. And I knew this is it. This is the last long song. Just try and get through it. Because after this, Message from the Country, there's a few singles. The longest one is 5.5 minutes. I can deal with that. But I gotta make my way through this song first, and I really don't want to. So that's the slog that this song was. It could have been a good song. Not a great song, but it could have been a good song if it was 5 minutes shorter. But it's not. If you've heard the first 30 seconds of when the band starts playing in, even though I think it's just Jeff and Roy, then you've heard the other 7.5 minutes. This is another one of my beefs with long songs. I mean, at least with Open the Door, the planet wants to come in and crash for the night, or whatever it was. At least it did this part for 2 minutes, then it went into a different part, and then it went into a different part. When it got set in its ways, At least it decided, now we're going to do this, and went off in a different direction. Still don't like the song, but still, this is it. Near the first 30 seconds, there's really no reason to listen to the other 7.5 minutes.
But what about the Crumhorn solo?
Oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. The friggin' oboes again.
And that's not an oboe. That's a
Crumhorn. Whatever. I mean, at least this time they don't have that fader pushed all the way up to the top. And it's not blasting in your ear. At least it's mixed down in there, so it's not just punched into your ear with a hammer.
But there's your favorite guitar tone again, too.
Yeah, that's in there, too.
But there's no sitar.
No, there's no sitar. There is a bit wah-wah in here, guitar solo, but it doesn't need to be there. I mean, it's pretty much the last 5 minutes of the song is a lot of stuff that didn't need to be there. I mean, I like the drums, I like when things started going, but when it keeps going the same thing for 8 minutes, it's just, you don't need it. I think the best thing about this song is, this is it. This is the last long Move song. I made it to my car. I can go home now and take a shower.
Well, then there's the Duke of Edinburgh's Lettuce.
That's 1:17. That's sweet relief. That's like when you get to the car and then you can turn on the air conditioner and sit for a minute and just, that was a bad idea to add an extra mile to my walk. But I can deal with this part here.
Well, I really liked how it started out. I like Roy's bass line on this.
Yep.
You're right, it is Roy and Jeff, with a couple backup singers. No Bev, no Rick, just Jeff and Roy. So, I'm going to have a few things to say about that in a moment, too. Yeah, I liked how it started out. Roy's vocals were okay. The song itself, there's not really much substance to it. It's a typical, hey baby, how about it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing big there, just some usual lines just to fill in space and have vocals. And it has a nice blues feel to it. And as it gets in, the vocals get better, and I like the backup vocals. I really like that part. I do like the Crumhorn part because you're right. That's one of the reasons I like it is because it's not in one speaker blaring. It doesn't try to do a whole blast of notes with it. He just holds some whole notes and uses it for texture, and it works because it's kind of mixed under everything else. So I didn't mind the song, but I am with you on length on this one. It seems like it's a jam session. Doesn't seem like it's planned like the other ones where, I mean, it still has the same structure as some of the other longer Move songs, but it doesn't seem like it's insert here, insert there. It sounds more like they're bored in the studio. They came up with a typical blues rock jam and didn't know how to end it because at the end, all of a sudden, it just kind of fizzles.
It just stops.
And, yeah, there's no planned ending to it. It just kind of, here we are. And one of the women comes up and sings the last line, and we're done. And yeah, that's really about it. I love longer songs, but I love long songs with substance. Right now I'm judging a song contest, and one of the songs on there is 19 minutes.
Oh my god.
It does not feel like a 19-minute song, but the music, it progresses, basically. That's why you have progressive rock. I know. But there's supposed to be something progressive in it, and the music is supposed to progress, and it does. It starts off with droning bass, goes into a lot more complicated drums and everything. It works, and it feels like it's about a 5-minute song after 20 minutes. That had a lot more substance than this. One thing I have to say, after learning that Jeff did the drums on this, is... What the hell, Jeff? You know how to drum. You know how to do more than 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. You did it back then. You could have done it on those last few albums. You didn't have to just do the same beat over and over again. You know what you're doing. You're not as good as Bev, sorry.
Well,
but
yeah.
sorry to tell you this, but you're still good enough that it didn't have to be so uninspired and boring.
Well, he played the drums on the surf version of Grieg's Piano Concerto A minor. That was on the Afterglow. No,
Yeah.
Flashback box. And he was kicking ass there. I think that's probably the last time he ever kicked ass on drums. Because otherwise it's just snare, bass, snare, bass, bass, snare, ticka, ticka on the cymbals.
Exactly. And I'm listening to this, hearing how fired up he is, and just being a jam session. I don't think I've really noticed a whole lot of the bass lines until this one.
Really?
Yeah. And this is Roy. So there is another instrument Roy knows how to play. It's bass, which shouldn't be surprising since he plays guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's pretty good on it.
I did like the lady backup singers. That was something nice to at least go in a bit of a different direction from pretty much everything else. I think that's the first time we hear a lady voice on a Move record, except for those interview bits between songs on, I think it was Shazam, the last album.
Yeah.
And that wasn't someone singing. That was, oh yeah, I like pop music. If they don't get naked. So, I'm going to guess we're done talking about Feel So Good? Or Too Good?
We're done talking about this version, yeah.
All right.
That's basically what I've got to say about it, and yeah, I didn't mind it, but I'm kind of glad this album's over because
Oh, God, yes.
I'll get more into it next week after we do the little Lettuce song.
And for all you people who don't subscribe at Patreon, you're going to miss our discussion in the expanded episode about the remake of this song.
Got something to say about Feel Too Good? Well, call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now.
We'll be back in a moment after these incredibly perfect segues. Ooh, I can just eat this stuff up.
And now back to the podcast.
Well, hello, this is Dr. Troy back again with my thoughts on Feels So Good. I think that's the title of this week's song. Well, anyway, when I hear that title, Feels So Good, I think of the night I became a man. Yes, it happened in the back seat of my mother's car in a church parking lot. And Chuck Mangione's Feels So Good was playing on the radio. And every time I see a title that says Feels So Good, I have flashbacks. Nothing much to say about this week's song except that I liked it, and according to YouTube comments, it was the first time Jeff Lynne played drums for The Move because Bev Bevan missed his train that morning. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what a YouTube comment said. So I will talk to you next week.
Face the Music, an Electric Light Orchestra song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment, Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com. Keep up to date on the show by joining our Facebook group and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod. Next episode, -014, The Duke of Edinburgh's Lettuce.